Okay, and we should be live here on YouTube for the NASCAR Xfinity Series race, the Dude Wipes 250 from Martinsville Speedway. Second race of the weekend and the first race in the Dash for Cash. We got a little poll going, set it up while I was finalizing a couple of things for the stream, so you guys can go ahead and vote on who you guys think is going to do the best in the Dash for Cash. I did not actually realize that. I thought for sure that they said Chandler Smith last week, but I Googled it, double checked it and everything, and it said Sammy Smith is on the list, so I apologize if my list is wildly inaccurate, but we will see. Yes, I haven't been tuned into the broadcast long enough to know for sure if they've kind of gone through and highlighted them, but thought that Chandler Smith was Dash for Cash eligible since he, won last week at Richmond, but might actually make it more interesting if he isn't eligible, because it gives you a lot longer to have to weave your way through, but here we go. Alright. So, we're all set up. They're going to commercial break, so we get a chance to just sit back and relax. Thank you guys for everybody that's tuned in. We've had quite a few people popping in for the start of the stream. Alright. And this should hopefully go better than yesterday's race, because I don't think it could go much worse. Yeah, yesterday's NASCAR Truck Series race can be summed up by about 2 or 3 things. You had no lead changes, very little passing at the front of the field, and some good battles mid-pack, but ultimately didn't mean anything because no one could pass inside the top 5 for the life of them. I think in terms of on-track passes for the lead, I think we had one literally on lap 1, and then I think we had one in like the final 20 laps of the race, and that was about the only green flag lead changes we had last night. So, yeah, by no means was last night a great short track race. Legitimate, sure. We had we got a chance to see who the best short track racers in the field were, or at least the ones who were able to maintain their track position from having started up front, but I'm hoping not to see that same type of race here tonight. Hoping for a different type of race, and yeah, Martinsville hopefully has some surprises left up its sleeve. Otherwise, we might just want to go ahead and pick the Kyle Larson to be the winner of the Cup race tomorrow, as he will be sitting on the pole position for tomorrow's NASCAR Cup Series race, as Cup qualifying concluded about an hour ago. Alright, let's go ahead and pull up my Cup Series rundown, just so we can, since we were talking Cup Series right now. I will say practice was definitely interesting, but in qualifying, you had a lot of the expected results at the top 5 at least. You had Larson, Bubba Wallace, who was fast in practice, coming only 1/1000th of a second short. Curious to see how he does with the start of the race, if he's going to be amped up to try and go for it. Got Chase Elliott starting up inside that top 5. Nice to see him really starting to have bounced back finally from the from the leg injury early last season. He just never looked the same, and then the suspension midseason did not help momentum at all. Martin Truex Jr. starting up inside the top 5 as well. He will be starting 4th tomorrow. And Chase Briscoe continuing the positive momentum for the Stewart-Haas Racing crew on the short tracks. Rumors about them potentially downsizing. I think this is a play from a lot of these drivers to potentially campaign themselves as a potential, hey, don't cut me. Because if Stewart-Haas Racing does in fact cut down on the number of cars from, say, for example, let's just say they cut down from 4 cars to 3 cars, somebody will be the odd man out. And if the rumors I've heard have been saying more likely that it will be cutting it down from potentially 4 down to 2 even, which would be a major cut, and Yeah, that would leave two drivers without a seat in this game of musical chairs, and yeah, I'm not the best looking. Okay, so Chandler Smith going to the rear for adjustments. You got Brandon Jones on the pole going to the rear of the field for adjustments. Okay, we got some fast cars going to the rear. Justin Allgaier going to the rear of the field. Okay, so Justin Allgaier, Brandon Jones, and Chandler Smith all heading to the rear of the field for the start of the NASCAR Xfinity Series race due to adjustments. Hey, LTX, how's it going? Alright, so yeah, we're settling in. We got Blaney and Cindric in the booth. We just get Joey Logano up in that booth, and you've got the Team Penske booth. Honestly, that wouldn't actually be too terrible of an idea. I mean, just make it for the Cup race, and it'll be even better. But yeah, all joking aside, I don't actually mind the Team Penske guys. Blaney's actually pretty solid in the booth. Joey Logano does it a lot, and Austin Hill's got a bow tie, or Austin Cindric, has got a bow tie. That's about the positive I can say about him in the booth, because I haven't actually heard his, haven't actually gotten to listen to too many of the broadcasts where Cindric is on call for him. Since he got up to the Cup Series, I just haven't watched a ton of Xfinity races with the volume on, so. Alright. I would love to see Eric Almirola go out there and get the win, though. He starts in the 6th position, although he will be promoted 2 spots because of Allgaier and Brandon Jones both going to the rear of the field for adjustments, so he will be starting. Hard to tell because we don't know what lane Brandon Jones is gonna. Well, Brandon Jones isn't gonna get the chance to choose. So depending on what Cole Custer chooses, he could try and clog Eric Almirola further back here. But yeah, the question is, if you're Cole Custer, because I know this doesn't mean a whole lot, but who do you want to fight side by side for the win, or for the start of the race? I mean. Because if you're Cole Custer, you have the choice. You can choose inside lane and block Sheldon Creed, or you can go to the outside lane and block Jeb Burton. I think Jeb Burton's the weaker choice. I think Cole Custer picks the inside lane here. And they're getting ready to go and start the engines up, so we are going to be getting ready for this one. But yeah, that is my educated guess as to the correct choice for Cole Custer. Now, whether or not he makes the correct choice is a very touchy thing. Because, yeah, Xfinity Series drivers and race car drivers in general are not infallible, but I would say that Sheldon Creed in a Joe Gibbs racing car is going to be a tougher driver to beat head-to-head on the front row than Jeb Burton in a Jordan Anderson racing car, although the Anderson racing cars have looked very good with Parker Retzlaff and Jeb Burton earlier this year, and even Anderson when the car wasn't braking on him. And yeah, here we go. So yeah, that is a quick rundown on that one, and let's see. Alright, so we got a bunch of people hanging out in here. Just kind of looking down through the list. We got sammayer starting in the 9th position. One of the few junior motorsports cars not getting sent to the rear of the field. Jesse Love and Austin Hill could end up on the same row, which actually will. Oh, but again, assuming that Cole Custer takes that inside line, they won't end up on the same row. Hill will end up like 2 rows ahead of. So, again, assuming that I'm right about the lane that gets chosen here for the start, that would move Burton up to the 2nd position. Almirola would be outside 2nd row. Ryan Sieg would be outside. Yeah, and then Ryan Sieg would move up to outside 3rd row. Definitely a complicated thing when you got people getting yeah, throwing out a qualifying and qualifying times disallowed after the thing, but yeah, then you've got the inside row after Allgaier will drop back, so Anthony Alfredo will move up to the inside row 3, or what I assume will be inside row 3 or inside row 2 if Cole Custer chooses the outside lane. Sammayer would also move up in that situation. Actually, real quick, what lane is Riley Herbst in? I know it doesn't make a big difference, but if Cole Custer can give his teammate one extra lane of room, I mean, I would at least consider that. So, in terms of Fords, the outside has Sieg, DeBenedetto, which is going to be a cool one to see. Riley Herbst in the outside, absolutely no way that the... Okay, I guess Google was wrong. It's Chandler Smith, not Sammy Smith. So, yeah, I Googled it and it was wrong. So, let me go ahead and end the poll real quick because I was just informed of that one. Let me go ahead and rewrite this one. I was right the first time and I should have trusted my memory, but I wanted to confirm it. Dash for cash. Now we know it's for sure Chandler Smith. The other 3 names are actually alright. Chandler Smith. Coming from the rear of the field, Eric Almirola. I gotta love how some of these names are hard to spell, and then you got guys like Jesse Love who are very easy to spell. Only got like 4 letters in his name entirely. I mean, 3 letters in his first name and then 4 different letters in his last name, so combined about 7 letters in his full name. And the cars are rolling out onto the track, so we are very close to the start of this race. And then the 4th one was, who was 4th? Kligerman, Parker Kligerman. Who would have guessed? We're doing research before the stream actually messes up my calculations on who wins it. So there we go. And they're showing, they're talking about Jesse Love, first Martinsville start. He didn't start a Martinsville race last year. That would have been one of the tracks I would have wanted him to get some experience on, more so than any others. And I know he got some part-time starts last year. Alright, so here we go. So they're going through the starting grid, so we will do the same. So the starting or qualifying order is Brandon Jones, Cole Custer on the front row. Brandon Jones going to the rear of the field due to post qualifying adjustments. Sheldon Creed and Jeb Burton make up row number 2. Row 3 was scheduled to be Allgaier and Almirola. Allgaier heading to the rear of the field for more unapproved adjustments. Then you've got Anthony Alfredo and Ryan Sieg. 7th and 8th is where they were scheduled to start. Mayer and Austin Hill round out row number 5. Row 6 is Jesse Love and Carson Quaffle. Both drivers making their Xfinity Series debuts at this track. Obviously, Jesse Love has run a couple of other Xfinity races before this, but it's his first time racing it at Martinsville. And then you've got Parker Retzloff and Matt Benedetto in row 7. Row 8 is AJ Allmendinger and Taylor Gray. Sammy Smith and Parker Kligerman will be starting 17th and 18th. Shane Van Gisbergen and Corey Heim round out row number 10. Row 11 is Jeremy Clements and Riley Herbst. Row 12 is Josh Williams and Brennan Poole. Brennan Poole being getting all the way up there and getting second place in a stage earlier. Last week, sorry. Leland Honeyman and Kyle Weatherman line up in positions 25 and 26. Haley Deegan and Kyle Sieg will be sharing row number 14. And then you've got Ryan Ellis and Blaine Perkins in row 15. Row 16 is Garrett Smithley and Dawson Cram. Dawson Cram being the person who got the bumper thrown at him. Got a new sponsor on the hood of that car this week, the Express Auto Glass sponsorship there. Then you got Dexter Bean in the 92 with Mayat Snyder on his outside, sharing row number 17. Row 18 is Logan Bearden and Joey Gase. And the final row is Chandler Smith, who will be dropping even further, and Akinori Ogata. I guarantee I butchered that last name, but... Okay, so all drivers going to the rear. Here we go. Allgaier, Sammy Smith, Brandon Jones, 3 of the 5 junior motorsports cars. Ogata is going to the rear of the field. Leland Honeyman Jr. going to the rear of the field, along with 2 other drivers, Chandler Smith and 1 other that I didn't get to read before they took it off the screen. But, yeah, so here we go. We are all set and ready for this one. Hopefully you guys are excited for a nice, good, long race. We got 250 laps tonight and then a long 500 miles tomorrow. Should be a good one. Hopefully you guys are as excited as I am. If you guys are, hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new. We've been doing these types of streams all throughout the NASCAR season, and here we go. Allgaier and Brandon Jones have both pulled over to the side of the road, and that will allow the inside line to move up a ton of spots. And by a ton, I mean 2. But still, every position matters. Actually, what position was Sammy Smith scheduled to start in? Is that another inside line moving up? That is another inside line moving up. It's further back, so it doesn't affect as many drivers, but guys like SVG, Jeremy Clements, and Josh Williams will be getting a massive boost of like 3 or 4 rows due to drivers getting sent to the rear of the field. And pace car is off, and we are ready to go racing. So here we go. It is Cole Custer on the outside. He opted... Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm completely wrong. He opted to start on the outside, and he opted to try and battle Sheldon Creed on the inside here for the start of the race as they go green, green, green. We are off and racing here. He's able to beat Sheldon Creed, but I don't know. I mean, again, I would have tried to give 1 extra row to almost all your Ford teammates there. Ryan Sieg, Matt DiBenedetto, Riley Herbst. I don't know. I mean, I know 1 row isn't a major factor, but if you could have taken 1 less row off their plate, I'm sure they would have appreciated it. But ultimately, I guess Cole Custer decided that the outside line was too valuable for the initial start. Yeah, we did see the pass for the lead end up coming from the outside lane on the initial start last night. Yeah. What's his name? Can't even remember the guy who won the race last night. Completely blanking. It was Christian Eckes from the outside of the front row last night. Was able to rocket around the pole sitter of Ty Majeski and just drive off and win the first stage, leading 100 laps uncontested to the end of stage 2. So, as of right now, we are 5 laps down here. Custer is maintaining an okay lead here, and we are starting to watch for Parker Kligerman, who appears to be stuck on the outside of a single-file train on the inside, who is just completely storming their way through, going right on by the driver in the 48. And looks like Brendan Poole in the 44 is going to opt to give Parker Kligerman that break to try and get to the inside line. You got the number 20 car of Eric Almirola going on by Burton there. Almirola is currently your leading Dash for Cash driver over Jesse Love, who is in 7th place. Then your other 2 Dash for Cash contestants are way in the back. You have you've got the 81 who got sent to the rear for the start of the race, and you've got Kligerman who is in the 20th position and has finally stopped the bleeding as he got in the inside line. But again, there's a lot of fast cars coming from the back here today. You got Brandon Jones already up to the 24th position. You got a lot of his Junior Motorsports teammates trying to follow him through. But, right now it's... Oh, we got a spin! We got a spin. Number 92 goes around, and that's going to be a caution flag here. First caution of the day, and it is for Bean. Mr. Bean goes around, and that is going to be the first caution flag of the day. Yeah, Dexter Bean goes around. First caution flag. Luckily, doesn't appear to have done any real damage to the car, so he should still be able to try and get in line. But the problem is a driver like that is already kind of behind the 8 ball. And oh wow, that was just Sammy Smith getting too aggressive trying to go through the field. He tried to pass 2 cars at once and just takes out both Garrett Smithley in the 6 and the 92 after he hops the curb attempting to try and make that pass. I mean, technically he passes both of them because there was no real crash in front of him to slow him down, so he was able to still get by them both. I don't know, if I'm NASCAR, I'm looking at some sort of penalization. Make him lose 2-3 spots or something. Because again, you can't just drive right into people on the apron and gain 2 spots like that, right? Come on, man. Didn't want to be talking about this at this point in the race, but hey, you know what? Is what it is. So, looks like Eric Almirola is the leading vote getter in our Dash for Cash poll now that we actually have the correct names in the list. And makes sense as he is he's got 4 cars in between himself and the next highest Dash for Cash contender, although there's a lot of time, but we saw last night that with how this track is, it is not an easy one to pass. This track is extremely tough to pass. It's basically like, it is pretty much as hard as it ever has been to pass at a track. It's almost like trying to pass Ryan Newman for every single car, just without adding a combined couple thousand pounds to the field. No offense, Ryan Newman, if you're watching this, I'm not trying to insult you, but safe to say not every driver in the field has the same weight there. But, so we are settling in. I'm going to go grab myself a fresh bottle of water because I didn't think to grab one before the stream, so we're going to go ahead and run an ad in a minute, and I will go ahead and grab that, and I'll be right back. Alright, and we are back, and that was a quickie yellow as the pace car is off, and we are ready for a restart here. Wow, we are back in racing. Green flag's out. Cole Custer chooses the inside lane this time. Maybe just trying to see what the inside lane has in case he doesn't have a choice on a late race restart where he can get the front row, but he doesn't have a choice as to get the outside or inside because he's not the leader. And he's able to beat Sheldon Creed off the corner, or beat him to the corner there. And here we go, Eric Almirola versus Sheldon Creed here for the second position. Honestly, if I'm Almirola, I'm looking at the big picture. I would almost be convinced to let Creed down in front of me here. I mean, yeah, you want to make sure you're getting ahead of Love and patting as many cars between yourself and Love as you can, but I don't know. I mean, I think potentially doing the team thing and letting Creed, who needs the points, stay in front of you here for the run to the stage potentially could be more valuable, especially to the team. But hey, you know what? I like to see drivers race. I'm not rooting for team orders, but if I were Almirola there, I probably would have opted to try and play the teammate game. Although Almirola's car does look very fast today. He's already starting to build a little bit of a gap between himself and Creed in the short time since he got by him. So it looks like Love and Quaffle are both back a couple of spots from where they were right before this, when the caution flag flew. I assume that was due to, a cause of the choose cone. They tried to choose the better lane, but lost a row or two in the process. Alright, so here we go. 20 laps down, 40 to go here in stage number 1. Definitely a pretty good race going on so far. You got Chandler Smith trying to make his way through the field. He's up about 10 spots so far. Now on the back bumper of Allgaier, who also is coming from the rear of the field. Who's on the back bumper of Brandon Jones, who is also coming from the back of the field. Who is on the back bumper of Sammy Smith, who is also coming from the back of the field. And yes, there are a lot of cars all trying to come through the back of the field who are all basically trying to do it together, which is helpful for the 3 Junior Motorsports cars since they are actually teammates. Chandler Smith is going to be a little bit more of an awkward pairing in there because, well, he's not a teammate to the other 3 that are right in the mix, but because he's already in the middle of them, he's managed to put himself in between the 7 and the 9. I think it's less likely that I think they're more likely to help him out just because, well, if we can help out the line helps their other guy, whoever ends up behind him. Although now there's a 2-car gap. But, yeah, it's definitely an interesting race so far. Matt DiBenedetto has dropped all the way to the 17th spot. And now, there goes A.J. Allmendinger passing Jesse Love for position. It's going to continue to drop Jesse Love, and that's going to expand Almirola's lead over Jesse Love by about 8 positions now. So there is plenty of spots for Almirola to have a little bit of comfort, but you still can't wreck, which is the biggest thing at Martinsville, is that you don't want to end up wrecking. Alright, here we go. Austin Hill starting to get to the back bumper of Ryan Sieg. If he can slow down Sieg, it might help Jesse Love a bit, but I think right now Austin Hill just wants to try and get to the front of the field or as high up into the points as he can before the end of this one. Alright, here we go. And, oh, here goes Almirola for the race lead. Eric Almirola. He has slowly creeped up. He has gone up, and he has passed his former team, Stewart-Haas Racing, for the lead of this race. Almirola and Joe Gibbs Racing to the race lead. Then you've got Custer and Haas. You've got Creed and Gibbs there, so you got a decent mix up front. Really excited to see Anthony Alfredo up there. But let's see. What about traffic? Where is the traffic at? So the leaders are running 20.6s. The last car in lead lap is 16 seconds behind and dropping fast. So we will not have to wait long for the for this next one to happen here. So yeah, there goes sammayer and Anthony Alfredo fighting it out for the 5th position here. I mean, I think the 5 car reasonably should be in 5th spot, but then the number 1 car would lobby that he should be in the. Alright, let's see. So Amarillo, your race leader, he is going to be catching lap traffic here, and the question is, do any of the lap cars cut him any slack right now? You got Joey Gase, Ogata, and Snyder, the back 3 that are going to get caught the quickest here. And now you got Love versus Hill fighting it out for the final playoff point here. Listen, this pass does, this pass, assuming that Hill is able to make the pass on Love, that would be a big pass there. Chandler Smith is up 10 spots since the restart of the race. Got Herbst up 5, and then Bean and the rest are all up 4 or less. Alright, so here we go. Let's see. So yeah, right now though, everybody's just kind of settling in. We're waiting to see what everything's going to happen here. Mayer is taking back off, and he is... Alright, let's see. You know, right now, so far, we're not doing too bad here. We're just coasting along. And, oh, we got a caution. Cram and... Are you kidding me? Haley Deegan with a torn up front end. Where have we heard this story before? Haley Deegan gets in the race car, goes and gets the car torn up as soon as she gets in it, pretty much. Alright, let's see. What ended up happening? Okay, this one might not be her fault. Nope, that one was just Brennan Poole getting shoved into the back bumper there. Alright, so yeah, I mean, right now the 15 and Dawson Cram, I mean, neither one of them necessarily did anything overly wrong. They were kind of the victims in that situation of what looked like maybe the 91 giving the shove too hard to the car behind Deegan. Alright, here we go. But yeah, as of right now though, Amarola in 1st, Love in 10th, Kligerman in 17th are your Dasher Cash eligible drivers. We got, but yeah, should be plenty of time here. Let's see, 23 laps to go, and here comes Haley Deegan into the pit road. Their destroyed bumper, and that's gonna... I just realized this is gonna bunch up the field, which means we get absolutely no lap traffic. Alright, and here comes Carson Quaffle down pit road. He's gonna give up, looks like 13th place track position. so there we go. There's Sammy Smith. Quaffle getting tires here. Got Allgaier and Brandon Jones also coming down pit road. Alright, let's see. What's it going to be? Yeah, this is an all junior motorsports stop. I'm curious. Alright, let's see. 22 laps ago. This is definitely not a, this is a marathon, not a sprint, but honestly, it's actually been going by pretty quick. Hey, Graham, how's it going? Had the jet ski finishing last night. Oh, you're going to be at, I'm assuming you're talking about you're going to be at the race tomorrow. I'm assuming you're not there right now. Well, hopefully for you, but not impossible. Or hopefully not for you, but definitely possible. Hopefully Amarola and Larson don't have that same trend of finishing second place in races where you think they should win. Or where you've got them picked to win. Now, my pick for the Cup race... Oh, who did I pick on the podcast this week? Trying to remember who my pick was for the podcast. Oh, yeah, I picked William Byron. I picked the boring answer. And unfortunately, it looks like I picked the wrong boring answer because Byron, while good, was not as good as Larson was. Granted, Larson was off the board when I made my selection, but... Well, let's go ahead and we'll take a look at Cup Series practice averages. Since that's what I look at more so than starting stuff. So here we go. Let's go with 5-lap average. That is Priest, Bubba, Byron, Truex, and LaJoie, the top 5. For 5-lap averages, when we move that to a 10-lap average, Priest, Bubba, Byron, Bowman, and LaJoie. Very similar list. 15-lap average, Byron jumps up to number 1. Priest, Bubba, Bowman, and Briscoe holds on to a top 15, hops on into a top 5 spot on 15-lap average. Briscoe takes the top spot at 20-lap averages over Byron, Bubba, Bowman, and LaJoie taking that 5th and final spot on the top 5s. And not going to look at the 25 or 30 lap averages just because there's not enough drivers who actually made a full 30 lap run to go and count them. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Let's count how many drivers did a 25 lapper because I think about half to 2/3 of the field did. Guys like Briscoe, Priest, LaJoie, Busher, McDowell didn't. And I say a lot of the guys who drive for the smaller teams, and then you've got the Stuart Haas guys who opted not to run a full 25 lap practice. Here we go. Pace truck is off, and we are ready to go back to racing. Green, green, green. Green flags out. Amarola going to try and get away with the lead. Meanwhile, Cole Custer can only sit on the outside line and watch. There we go. Eric Amarola just coasting away. Gonna try and see if he can gap his teammate any, but showing Creed on the inside makes a ton of sense. Just kind of work together at this point. Alright, let's see. So we're all starting to settle down here as everybody tries to find their spots before too long. Yeah, AJ Allmendinger up several positions, and now he's trying to make a pass on Jeb Burton to try and get into that top 5. Yeah, Jesse Love down all the way to 12th position. That is unfortunate. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Again, right now we got the cameras are all focused in on this Allmendinger, Burton, and Alfredo battle. But And say Herbst and Hill are battling it out a little further behind. Herbst on that outside line is going to get toasted pretty quick. And here comes Chandler Smith. He's all the way from the back of the field. He's up into the top 20. He's up to 19th right now. Alright, let's see. Again, right now you got Riley Herbst just trying to settle in here. But Herbst trying to settle in ahead of the two RCR cars, which I think RCR is going to say that's a no-go. Alright, let's see. Again, right now we're just... oh, here we go. There's a question. Do you think any tracks could possibly lose a date for next year? I mean, and here's my honest opinion about it. We got 12 laps left in this stage. I think if I'm looking at the NASCAR Cup Series schedule and I'm looking at it from a purely building a good schedule portion, I would look at slashing races at the at tracks that already have 2 events. I would look at now. I know I've got at least one friend who will absolutely grill me for this opinion, but I would bring back Bristol Dirt to differentiate the 2 dirt events to try and build up 2 different events. I know the attendance and the viewership for Spring Bristol was better this year, but I think building up them as 2 separate events is a better long-term decision, although... Again, I don't know the finances on bringing the dirt back or how much money they potentially save by not doing that. So that would be one question I would have to have. But then axing double dates at most of the more cookie cutter tracks. Maybe axing, say, a second date at Kansas or at Kansas or... I mean, I would potentially be okay with just axing Texas altogether for a year or 2 while they figure out what they want to do with that track. But, axing double dates at some of the 1.5 milers and potentially using that as an opportunity to return to, say, a Kentucky or a Chicago, assuming that either one of those tracks are still in operating condition. It hasn't been that long since they were used, so I'm hoping that maybe one or both of them are maybe still in operational condition, although I haven't heard anything positive out of them. But I would say one or both of... I would say cutting down at double dates at the tracks that we already have like 25 of. Oh. I wish SMI or Dale Jr. could purchase Rockingham. Yeah, Rockingham would be a nice track to have. That would be one of them. Like, my biggest thing would be that would be a lot of races in North Carolina. But I would honestly give up a second Darlington date. I would axe the spring Darlington race on Mother's Day weekend and run a Saturday night race at the Rock instead. There was something looked like a foam tube or something out there. Bouncing around on the track, but Rockingham Speedway is definitely one of those that I would definitely petition. I assume that they have night lighting there. I haven't raced on iRacing to know if they have the proper like night lights or whatever for it, but I would do a Saturday night race the day before Mother's Day potentially to try and fill that same time slot on the schedule, just move it from South Carolina with Darlington to North Carolina with Rockingham. Again, I would be worrying about oversaturating the market, and feasibility, I would say it absolutely goes that North Wilkesboro would get that point state before Rockingham would, but again, I'm talking more pie-in-the-sky type feeling there than that, but I mean, you've got me beat. At least you were within 6 months of being able to see racing at your home track. Last time there was Cup racing at my home track, as we see coming across the line, Amarola over Creed. Cole Custer, Sam Mayer, AJ Allmendinger the top 5, Alfredo, Ryan Sieg, Austin Hill, Burton, and Retzloff, the final drivers earning points. Jesse Love, the first driver to miss out on points. So, some good points there for the for Anthony Alfredo, a driver who hasn't had the best of seasons so far this year, and both of the full-time Jordan Anderson racing drivers also getting up into the points. So, also Ryan Sieg, who has not had a great day, but yeah, my home track up in my home state. The last time they had a Cup race there was 1968. They had 3 Cup races in 66, 67, and 68 at the Oxford Plains Speedway, but I wish they would add more Saturday night races during the summer. Me too. Yeah, Cup races on Saturday, yeah. And here's another thing I've said this on other videos in the past. If a track is gonna have 2 dates, make one a day and one a night race. Like, it doesn't have to be rocket science. You can have one, again, when applicable. Like, obviously, you're gonna keep 2 Talladega races because the track is just so interesting and creates a ton of entertaining racing every time they go there. But for any track that has the ability, try and make the 2 races different. I mean, even for Talladega, maybe you make one of those races a 400-miler. Maybe you make it a 450. Just something to shift the 2 and separate them out. I mean, maybe 400 or 450, cutting out 50 to 100 miles off a Talladega race wouldn't maybe change much, but trying to change something would be nice. Because again, it feels like, that's my biggest thing with if you're going to have 2 races at a track, there should be something to differentiate them. Like how Daytona for the 500 and the 400 in the summer. You have a Saturday night race with Daytona's summer race that you can have under the lights in the heat of the summer. But you have a daytime, or at least a daytime starting race for the Daytona 500. Assuming weather provides. So, yeah, I love short tracks on Saturday nights and stuff, so I would absolutely be a fan of that kind of scheduling. Let me see the Cup schedule for this year, just to see which races I would move to Saturday night short track race or Saturday night racing. But in particular, I'll probably be looking at some of the short tracks. So, obviously, Texas maybe. I don't know. I would have to look at the data. Because I know that the PJ1 or the resin or whatever they use to try and add that second lane in, it needs heat. So maybe Texas being during the day actually makes some sense there. Dega and Dover the next 2 weeks both don't have lights. So makes sense why those 2 would be day races. Kansas could easily be a Saturday night race, especially if you're going to have Sundays the next couple of weeks. Although, maybe you have Kansas during the day and then move the Darlington race to Saturday night. I mean, do the same thing I was just suggesting with North Wilkesboro, or with, you could do it with North Wilkesboro or Rockingham. Or even just apply it to Darlington. Just move the Darlington Mother's Day race to Saturday night so that the drivers and the fans can all spend Mother's Day with their moms. NASCAR All-Star Race, not really surprised to see that on a Sunday. Give it the most amount of time. Now, maybe you move that to a Saturday when and if, depending on who's running the double header at Indy, and depending on the schedule of qualifying there, to try and accommodate for as many possible drivers as possible as they come off pit road. Amarola, Creed, Custer maintain their spots as Austin Hill gained some spots here. And, Sam Mayer got into the fence there a bit earlier in the event. Coke 600 Memorial Day weekend, that is a classic. You don't touch that. Gateway could be a Saturday night race, and I don't think anybody would really be opposed to a Saturday night race. Now, maybe that'd be a little too much night racing right after you have the All-Star race on a Sunday night and a Coke 600 the following week on a Sunday night as well. But honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing. I love Gateway Under the Lights, especially when IndyCar used to run that for the for like the second or third to last race. Sonoma, no way to like that track in the nighttime. Iowa is a Sunday night race. I don't really see a reason why that couldn't be a Saturday night race. It's also only a 350 mile or 350 lapper. Wow, that is a really short race. I mean, granted, I say that my home track has a very similarly length race the very next week, but New Hampshire does not have lights, so that race would not be a valid candidate to move to nighttime. Nashville, though, Nashville Under the Lights could definitely be a night race. Chicago, no. Pocono doesn't have lights. Indy, no. Richmond, it's already going to be a 6 p.m. start time, but on a Sunday, I would just move that to a Saturday. Michigan does not have lights, and Daytona is a Saturday night race. So, there we go. Yeah, I'm going to say, Charlotte Roval at night would be an interesting concept. I'm going to say, imagine if they did that for a playoff race. I think the biggest problem would be if something goes wrong. You don't want it to go wrong in the playoffs, so... Now, maybe you move the Roval into the regular season there for it. Yeah, maybe you move the Roval into the regular season so you can test that concept out to make sure that the lighting systems won't go down or will have good coverage. Or even, hey, maybe you do a 12-hour test race and race through the night. Do a NASCAR endurance style thing. I mean, that's absolutely not going to happen, but would be interesting. Parker Retzlaff will win. Hey, you know what? He looks quick, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does. And remember how all the those junior motorsports cars came to pit road earlier in when we had that caution for the for Haley Deegan and the other guy crashing. Oh, man, I got a headache. But yeah, now you've got junior motorsports cars 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because they opted to stay out, and they've got a 60-lap segment here to go. But yeah, there's a lot of options for the NASCAR field. I would love to see them do a winter. I'd love to see them rehash the Pro Invitational or whatever from the iRacing Pro Invitational or whatever. Like, adapt that into some sort of winter league, maybe. I mean, I know it wouldn't be the best thing, but I mean, hey, make it an invitational or... whoa, we got big issue! Major crash on the restart. There's Parker Retzlaff involved, Jeremy Clements, and we've got a parking lot. It'll take a minute to see everybody who is involved. We have got ourselves a lot of carnage there. I think you're a little bit off there, Luke, on that one. Let's not spam the chat, please. I already saw your message there, but Allmendinger is piled up in this one, and Parker Retzlaff's car is wrecked. There ain't no way Parker Retzlaff is going to win the race with that car. Leland Honeyman Jr.'s car is torn up. And let's see, what happened there? Because it looked like the 9 just got loose or whatever. I don't know if it popped out of gear. Let's see, who else all got involved? See if we can make a list. 19 slides through. Alright, watching this one on slow motion, I'm just going to be trying to count car numbers here, so. Yeah. Yeah, I think the 9 may have just popped out of gear there on the restart. So, drivers with significant damage, 26. 19 does get a piece of it. But 26, 31, 51, 38 slides through, so DeBenedetto's safe. The 92 of Bean gets caught up in it. And there are cars pretty much everywhere on that one. And yeah, again, it looks like, and I'm assuming that that had to have just been, again, something popping out of gear there. Let's see, the 11 slides through, Shane Van Gisbergen slides through, Alfredo gets through, Ryan Ellis gets through, Dawson Cram makes it through, Kligerman gets through, and red flag is out. Absolutely no shock there. Yeah, again, I think it may have been a mechanical issue. I think he may have either went to try and shift it into third gear and caught it first, or he went and put it into third or fourth gear and it just popped completely out of gear. Because again, these remember, these are not the sequential shifters that the Cup Series has. These are your standard H pattern shifter, so accidentally shifting from second back into first when you're trying to get third, especially on a restart, is very much a possibility. But yeah, certainly not what you wanted to see at this point in the race. So that was interesting. But yeah. And I remember that, when it comes to the Charlotte Roval, especially for the Xfinity Series, I always think back to that massive rain race that they had. And honestly, I remember so many people saying how, oh, that race wasn't good. That was one of the best rain races I think I've ever seen. The drivers were able to actually drive in the rain for the most part. I know there were a couple of exceptions where some drivers just couldn't manage it, but for the most part, the drivers were able to navigate the track in what was a massive downpour, the same kind that we saw end the race early at Circuit of the Americas. So I think Charlotte Road Course is one of the better road courses on the entire schedule. So, but yeah, we're just chilling out here. It looks like the Amarola votes dwindling just a little bit, or at least the percentages. Got a little bit of Parker Clearman votes. Jesse Love got a little bit of action, and it's basically Chandler Smith versus Amarola. Texas next Friday night for the Xfinity Series. Is next week another triple header? I think it is. Let me see. So next weekend at the yes, 3:30. Let's see, Xfinity Series at Texas. What time on Saturday? Is it a night race or is it a noon? It is a 1:30. So I won't be able to do a triple header, but I will be home for 2 of the 3 races. I'll be home for Friday, and I'll be home for the Cup race on Sunday. Would not mind if they brought back Road America or the Daytona Roval. Alright, first off, I will say when it comes to the Daytona Roval, I'll talk about that one first, because I think that one is the one I would say maybe don't. Just because these NASCAR Cup cars can't run the authentic Daytona 24-hour circuit, and the Cup extra chicane was a little bit on the weird side for me, but if they did bring it back, I wouldn't necessarily say it. I would hate it, but my other thing is that I think there is a ratio that needs to be maintained of number of road courses versus number of ovals, because as I've heard a lot of people say, and shout out to my friend Rumble from my NASCAR Racing League, this ain't F1. Say there's not team orders. We don't need every race to become a road course. I think a good ratio is about 6 road courses a year. Now, if you want to create a rotating schedule, that way the road courses can kind of swap in and out. So, like, swap in and out, say, Circuit of the Americas and COTA, or swapping in and out, say, Sonoma and Laguna Seca, for example, just to give another California road course an idea. If you wanted to swap in and out road course races each year and just kind of basically make a rotating schedule, One, so that the drivers don't get too much data on the road courses too quickly to make them boring, but also giving the diversity of schedules and being able to give fans of certain tracks a chance to go and see their favorite tracks. Like, those Road America fans are loyal as anything. I mean, if you told them they could have a cup race every other year, they would absolutely be fine with it. I guarantee it. And honestly, I think the only tracks that I would say would maybe be candidates. Do you run in a league on iRacing? No, I'm in a NASCAR Heat 5 racing league on Thursday nights. I usually stream it here on the channel. I didn't end up streaming last week's doubleheader that we had at the Indy Road Course and Kansas. One, because I knew what was going to happen at the Indy Road Course with all the yelling at each other, and two, my computer was already packed up in my backpack. So, yeah, I've been a part of a couple of leagues on iRacing, but they ultimately just didn't gain a lot of traction. So, looks like Amarillo is currently scheduled to restart in the 7th position. Jesse Love will be in the 10th position again, assuming that there's no significant damage to the guys in the running order right now. But, yep, so. But yeah, iRacing is an amazing tool, though. It gives you a chance to create just complete fantasy worlds. In fact, if I could guarantee that this red flag were going to be longer, okay, yeah. So I'm hoping that the NASCAR 2025 game with iRacing is potentially cross-platform, because that has been one of the biggest divides for when it comes to trying to unite NASCAR fans online, is the whole Xbox versus PlayStation thing. I race on Xbox because that's the console I have, and I know quite a few people on PlayStation, despite the difference in console. But yeah. Oh, and showing the highlight of the bumper toss there for Joey Gase. Ironic that Joey Gase has no sponsor this week, although he did pick up a new sponsor from Bumpers That Deliver. That sponsorship will be on at the whatchamacallit. They will be the primary sponsor for the Michigan race later this summer. Dawson Cram also picked up Express Auto Glass, who is on the side of his car here tonight. Not a full primary scheme, probably because they came on too late in the week to try and get set up. And now they're doing a get to know the drivers there. I still find it funny that it says "Race Against Crime" on the bumper that Joey Gase went and threw. But yeah, I was racing in. My league actually started up not long before I went to college, and then I went and managed to maintain it through college, despite a lot of ups and downs throughout it. We're currently in, I think, our 8th season of Thomas Cup Racing over on Xbox, and let me go ahead and pull up the point standings from that, just so I can talk about that a little bit more, if anyone's even interested in that. If not, go ahead and shout another topic at me, and we can go ahead and talk about something that people actually care to listen about. But I figure since we're talking leagues, I can go ahead and okay, what was this clip? I have not actually seen this clip. Oh yeah, this is a fun clip. This was the last lap of the Kansas race. Let's go ahead and put this one up on the screen for you guys. Let me go ahead and put this one over onto the other monitor here for a moment, as we're still under the yellow flag. Favorite track to race on Heat 5? I know this is a controversial opinion, but I'm not saying it to be controversial. I love the rhythm at Richmond Raceway. You know, I am very much a rhythm racer, and I absolutely adore the way the you get on the gas, the lifting off the thing, the light amount of brakes you use through the corner, the varying ideas as to how you use it, how much brake, how early do you lift. Do you enter high? Do you enter low? Are you running a qualifying lap? Or are you trying to go out there and just knock the wall down, for lack of a better term? Let's go ahead and grab display capture. And there we go. So this is going to be the onboard from the 62 of Dippin' Dots. I'm the 34 if you guys want to look for my car, but yeah, it was not a great race for me. Gonna double check. Hopefully the audio level is not too. Actually, I should be muted. But yeah, so the 62 just went to the outside of everybody, dives it up to 5th here, then dives it all the way down the bottom, 3 wide here. Contact with the 51, clears the 43 just barely off the corner. No, it was enough to get down, keep a little bit of room there, and went all the way from the back. From like 9th or 10th all the way to the front there. But, yeah, that was the final lap there for Dip, and I had just seen them sent that clip through last night. But, alright, there we go. We're going to go ahead and X out of that. I agree with that. I like running, Darlington's a ton of fun. Iowa, Homestead, Watkins Glen. Honestly, and again, I actually quite like Kansas. Kind of that rhythm of running right around the top. I will say I wish the bottom was a little bit better so that there was a chance to run something other than just single file right around the top. I mean, there is obviously a chance to try and slide job, but when 99% of the race is right around the wall, I mean, it's different. That's for sure. I just don't know if it's. I don't know if you can make that inside line a little better without making the bottom just the best, like it is at every other track. Watkins Glen, that's by far my favorite road course to race on the game. Indy Road Course is a disaster just because of the amount of course cutting penalties that are enforced there compared to every other track on the circuit. Then you got Sonoma with the new carousel area, not exactly the best. Then you got the Charlotte Road Course, which isn't terrible, and they're showing the sammayer Ty Gibbs fight on TV. Yay. Because that is totally relevant at this point in the race, because Ty Gibbs doesn't race until tomorrow, and sammayer will not be on track with will not be on track with him this week. But, they're showing, Austin Hill has climbed out of the race car. He is out of the race. So, Jesse Love now has one less teammate in this field. Yeah, Iowa's another track I like. I was just kind of going through because we've been on the next gen cars now, and we lost access to Iowa. Actually, Indy Oval. Indy Oval. That's another one that I like to race. Now that I'm thinking back to the old cars, it was also a track I was bummed to lose access to when we got the next gen cars. But the 4 distinct corners at Indy, giving you 4 different lifting and lifting points to try and build runs. Working the snaking the draft down the back. Front and back straightaways. I mean, there's a ton to love on that game. But yeah, I just kind of had completely spaced on it because it wasn't part of the, you can't race it on the DLC tracks, even though I would love to. Like, Midwest racetracks just got absolutely wrecked with the DLC. Because we lost access to Chicago. I know it's not necessarily Midwest, but losing access to Kentucky, Indianapolis on the Oval, and Iowa, and Road America to an extent, again, kind of in that Midwest, even though it's pretty far north from Midwest. And I say, the next-gen cars, I wish they would race at a lot of those tracks, but here we go. 17 laps into stage number 2. They are rolling now, by the way. They did finally lift the red flag. Hoping to be actually back to racing here soon. Although I will say, when it comes to iRacing, I much prefer to be running the open wheel cars, whether that's the full-on Indy cars or some of the other IndyCar ladder series. Indy Pro 2000s are so fun at so many different tracks, especially short tracks. The shifting up and down, again, the braking there. And even the drafting at a track like Indianapolis on the big oval with those cars is a ton of fun, too. But, yeah, I'll say, definitely a wide variety of racetracks in the world, and unfortunately they can't all be on a NASCAR schedule at the same time, because NASCAR drivers would probably not appreciate the series being year-round. Alright, let's see. So they're showing highlights from the 2023 fall race. And let's go ahead and take a look back at the Cup Series qualifying grid, because Cup qualifying again happened about an hour before this Cup race, or before this Xfinity race started. We already talked practice times, but we have not talked qualifying much. So, Bubba Wallace missing out on the pole position by .001 of a second. Big bummer for Bubba. As I know we got at least one big Bubba fan in my league. But, yeah, Kyle Larson getting that pole position there. Elliott inside that top 5. Actually, both Chases up in the top 5, with Briscoe also being up there. Logano, Josh Berry, Denny Hamlin picking up spots, and we got the choose cone happening, and it looks like four of the 5, sorry, really bad at counting. 4 of the 5 junior motorsports cars are all going to line up on the inside line. I think the plan might be here for Sammy Smith to check up the line of junior motorsports cars enough to let the one car pull in front and try and freight train the inside with all 5 of them, which will give Sheldon Creed a bit of a hard time to try and figure out what they want to do. And if I'm one of those drivers in that outside line, a Sheldon Creed, a Cole Custer, a Jesse Love, I'd be planning that now. I would be trying to think about how you're going to get to that inside line. Do you think you have enough power to try and run around the outside? 40 laps to go when they take the green flag, and green flag's out. We're racing once again at Martinsville. Alright, so racing at Martinsville, and here we go. Sammy Smith, and there we go. Okay, we knew that somebody was going to check up. We just didn't know who. Apparently the 7 of Allgaier opted to be the one to check up for the one of Mayer to get into the inside line, and ultimately he ends up letting the 18 of Creed in as well by accident. I assume he wasn't trying to let Sheldon Creed to the inside. Now Custer's having a hard time trying to find a spot on the inside line as he's going wheel to wheel with the 7 of Allgaier. So I will say that is a very different scheme than we're used to seeing from Justin Allgaier. So far out of the race, you have Weatherman Hill, Heim, Allmendinger, and Retzloff are all out of the race. So those 5 drivers are officially DNF'd. And we will, the next time we'll probably talk about most of them will probably be at the end of the race when we go down through the full finishing order. But yeah, right now they're just cruising here. You got Cole Custer in behind Carson Quaffle. Quaffle going to try and hold off the former NASCAR Cup Series drivers as much as he can with Cole Custer, Amarola both in there. Although Custer is not intentionally a former driver or former Cup Series driver, he's just gotten demoted to Xfinity because of the amount of seats and his performances. And oh no, yep, there we go. We got Parker Kligerman with a tire down, and that is going to be yellow flag, yellow, yellow, yellow. Yellow flag is out, and we are back under caution for, what is this, the 5th time tonight? 5th time tonight with a caution flag. And not really sure what happened because I got the camera on it way too late. Say, possible that he ran over some kind of debris. We'll have to wait and see what they ultimately deduce, but yeah, certainly something to be concerned about there. But yeah, so Logano, Berry, some good speed out of the Fords this week, which is something we've been kind of waiting for from the Mustang Dark Horses. Alex Bowman with a top 10 qualifying run, not a bad one there for him. Again, part of that bounce back. Actually, ironically, the 24, the worst qualified Hendrick driver. So I guess the dire curse is already struck. Hopefully that's the worst it gets for William Byron. But I need to make sure I go and apologize in the chat about the whole William Byron situation because I did curse him. And we said what? Byron's 18th. But yeah, the curse of me picking him has definitely been not the greatest. So Kyle Busch 11th. I'm hoping that could be something. Ross Chastain 12th. Brad Keselowski 13th. Cindric will be starting in the 14th position, and Ty Gibbs tomorrow will be 15th. Todd Gilliland had a pretty good run in practice. He'll be starting 16th. Really good for that team, honestly. Eric Jones in 17th. We just talked about Byron in 18th. Reddick and Bell round out the top 20, and they are all the Toyotas except for one are inside that top 20. So there we go. Got that all taken care of, and yeah, we are just chilling here. Alright, let's see. So, right now, Sammy Smith and Sam Mayer are the race leaders. Again, Sheldon Creed was able to get in line there. Brandon Jones lost a couple of spots. And it's a 2-car buffer between Amarola and Jesse Love. But we'll have to wait and see what lanes they end up choosing, because that'll end up determining how big of an advantage that is to have two cars. And oh, here we go, pace car's off, and we are gonna be getting ready for the race to restart here. As the pace car dives for cover, leaving the field in the hands of the Sams on the front row. Mayer and Smith as they go green, green, green. Green flags out. We're back to racing. They need the Daytona Roval back. I don't know. Again, like, it didn't race that spectacularly well. It had the one major highlight moment of that ended up giving it the big appeal there with the Daytona Clash that one year. And, oh, whoa! Sam Mayer way out the line. I believe he is on what is he on 90 lap tires? I believe. I mean, he's got no grip left in that car if he is truly on 90 lap tires. But yeah, right now though, Sammy Smith trying to get a big lead. Right now, Allgaier and Creed are going to help him out on that one. But yeah, Sam Mayer already down 8 spots since the restart. Nobody else has lost more than 2. And again, I'm not opposed to the Daytona Roval. I just think that there are more interesting road courses that we can go to without going to the Daytona road course, especially where we can't run the kind of traditional iconic layout. We have to run a NASCAR-ified version with the extra chicane right by pit road. Because like, if that final chicane felt more natural on the track, maybe. Kind of like how the final chicane at the Charlotte Roval feels very natural because, well, that's how it's always been. But, yeah, Amarillo all the way up to 5th, and Jesse Love and Chandler Smith will be battling it out for position here soon, as Jesse Love and Chandler Smith are pretty much bumper to bumper, it looks like. As Chandler Smith is trading spots back and forth with Alfredo. Just don't know which one's on the inside and outside line here. Alright, here we go. And getting to know Carson Quaffle, 2-time late model stock tour champion. He was the Cars Super Late champion. And son of the 2003 Truck Series champion Travis Quaffle. So here we go, and now we got a drag race here between Custer and Creed. This is going to continue to help Amarillo continue to run down these front 3 drivers. And Quaffle, Allgaier, Chandler Smith, the top 3, they are absolutely cruising right now. And Chandler Smith actually went and passed Jesse Love for that 12th position. So now Chandler Smith is up to the 2nd position in the running order for that. 29 now 30 laps led of the 99 run so far. Leading lap 100 will be Sammy Smith, as we got ourselves 20 laps to go in stage number 2. 20 to go in stage 2. So, plenty of time to go here. Alright, let's see. Again, right now, Jeb Burton, he's doing what he can right now. He's stuck in 8th place. He's just kind of maintaining his spot here. Alright, let's see. I'm excited to go to the race tomorrow and walk over see the sights, smells of the race. Yeah, the iRacing sims at the track are always pretty fun. I've done the Bristol ones at the track, and me and my buddy Patrick, we did the ones at the NASCAR Hall of Fame during the Charlotte Roval weekend. We tried the ones at the track for the Charlotte Roval weekend, but it just wasn't the same as doing the ones at the Hall of Fame where you actually have to climb inside of a full-bodied stock car to go and race. And here we go. Chandler Smith now passing Sam Mayer here, trying to separate himself as Love continues to slip further and further back. Alright, here we go. Josh Williams up into the top 10. That is impressive for Josh Williams. He's really had a rough start to his season this year, but Josh Williams up inside the top 10 for Kaulig. I mean, hey, I know we've gotten used to calling Kaulig a championship caliber team, but I don't know. Again, Williams, sure, he's not the best driver in the world, but he's been given time to hopefully adjust to that car, and right now Williams has got it up inside the top 10 and currently is the best of the Kaulig drivers. But yeah, here we go. For races I'm going to, New Hampshire is an almost certain race that I will be at, barring any major weather front. Then we've got, what's it called? My other plan is that I'm hoping to be at the Bristol night race in the fall. Those are kind of my two big races I want to try and get to this year. Last year I was at both Charlotte races as my kind of two races. That seems to be about the par for me, is 2 races a year. Doesn't help living way out in the weeds up in Maine. It's like a 2.5, 3-hour drive just to get to New Hampshire. To get to the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And then you've got another, then once you get to the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, if you want to go for a second race, Watkins Glen being the next closest track is another like 1.5 hours, 2 hours away. If not even further than that, if I'm off on my math, which could be wrong. But Amarola's all the way up into 4th here. He's going to be looking to try and pass Quaffle here soon. Allgaier's hounding the back bumper of Sammy Smith now that it's basically those two fighting it. Have I traveled to Dover? I have not actually gone to a Dover race. I was looking at going to one this year, but ultimately the cards just fell at the wrong time. With a bunch of other personal stuff I got going on, so yeah, no, it hasn't happened yet. I'm hoping to go to a Dover race here soon, though. And I'd say, I've heard a lot about the track. I got some buddies who live near there, so. And here we go. Amarola to the back bumper of Quaffle. Allgaier was able to grab the lead from Sammy Smith there. And now we got a 4-car battle for the lead. With 8 to go. Now 7 laps to go here. Sammy Smith in 2nd place, trailing the 7 to Allgaier. I don't think they catch that lap traffic, which is unfortunate because lapping traffic is kind of one of the beauties of short track racing. And when you have a race like last night where the cautions just keep falling, it just doesn't seem to happen. But for tracks I've been to New Hampshire, I think 3 times. I've been to Bristol. I've been to Bristol about a half dozen times. Hey, Patrick, how's it going? Gonna DM me a few questions if you can answer them tonight. Yep, I'll definitely check in on the old Google box. But yeah, right now you got yourself a 5 laps to go here. Love gonna see what he can do, but at this point he's too far back. I wouldn't really worry too much for Love if he's gonna be anywhere. The battle right now is gonna be about whether or not Amarola can hang on to that 2nd spot, or that 2nd spot, I mean, and potentially even maybe run down Allgaier, although I know that's a long shot. Honestly, looking at the gaps on the screen, I would probably put the camera on Ryan Sieg and Josh Williams. I think that battle could be the most interesting one of the bunch here coming down the stretch. see what Josh Williams is willing to do for an extra bonus point. But as of right now, we got 2 laps to go. It'll be a 1 lap to go here at the line. Why is it? Oh, wait, no. Sorry, I was on the wrong straightaway. I thought that I was seeing corner. I thought I saw pit entry, but I was seeing pit exit here. And now it's 1 lap to go. 1 lap left in the race, or in the stage 2 here. We got ourselves a whole nother stage. But Allgaier found a slow number 53 car, which is Joey Gase. Allgaier's going to let Joey Gase stay on the lead lap as they go, collect the green and white checkered flag for the end of the stage. Allgaier, Almirola, Sammy Smith, Quaffle, Custer, the top 5. Then you got Creed, Jones, Chandler Smith, Jeb Burton, and Ryan Sieg, the remaining drivers who earn points in this stage. Alright, well, wow. Coke 600 is a brutal race for someone's first NASCAR experience, but if they love it, they will be absolutely hooked, because that is 4.5 hours of entertainment. Last summer was my first time going to the Coke 600, and let's just say it was a bit soggy. Was at the track all day for was at the track most of Friday and Saturday, and then didn't bother even going to the track on Sunday because knew we weren't gonna get racing. And they pretty much had called it before the end of the Indy 500 to begin with. I will say it'll be fun to see Kyle Larson arriving at Charlotte. Can't wait for them to go and make that a media spectacular there. Alright, well, we got ourselves about halfway through this race. I'm going to be right back. I gotta go use the bathroom, and I will run a quick ad. I will be right back, guys. So, there we go. Thank you guys, by the way. We got 7 people hanging out in chat. Hopefully you guys are all having a fantastic evening here. We got ourselves 127 laps to go. Closing in on halfway now that stage 2 is over. Probably won't be going racing again until after halfway. Eric Almirola earning the most stage points tonight, although, again, he isn't really racing for a title. Cole Custer, Sheldon Creed both earning 14 points. Allgaier collecting 10 points here, but also failed to collect any points in stage 1. So, there we go. Got that all set. Now we got Sammy Smith going in and getting service. I'm assuming we're just seeing all the drivers coming in and getting their service here. Carson Quaffle, Eric Almirola, Justin Allgaier, Sammy Smith. Your top 4 finishers in the stage as Brandon Jones has already been released from his pit box. That's pretty quick for the 9 team. That typically has been the flagship car at the organization. Both their NASCAR Xfinity Series titles with Reddick and Chase Elliott both came from the driver of the number 9. Oh, coming off pit road, it was close. It was Amarola over Sammy Smith. Sheldon Creed up 3 spots. Custer gains 1. Chandler Smith gains 1. Allgaier losing 3. Riley Herbst gaining 6 spots as he moves up to the number 9 position. And wow, that is not a very big margin there for the 20. But photo evidence there from the from the camera there proves that he definitely they scored him right by scoring Amarola ahead of Sammy Smith. Alright, so there we go. Actually, something I can go ahead and shout out real quick that I haven't done yet is the NASCAR Fantasy Live game. We have our own Fantasy League link in the description if you guys want to compete against me and a bunch of my friends and family. We got a Fantasy League going. Obviously, you're gonna be behind if you're just joining up now, but you guys can still get in on the weekly contests and stuff. But why on earth do I have to be so bad at the fantasy game despite most of my insight usually being pretty accurate? Well, I nearly had a perfect roster 2 weeks ago at Phoenix before Denny Hamlin derailed it. But who would have guessed Denny Hamlin derailing at the championship track? I should have probably expected it, but yeah, let me go ahead and set my roster for this race. So Byron's definitely going to be in there since I'm going to be rooting for him to win anyway. If you guys don't know how the NASCAR Fantasy Live game is played, let me go ahead and I'm just going to throw this up here on the screen for you guys. So let's go ahead and get display capture. Boom. And we're going to just go ahead and crop this down here. So the way the roster works, if you guys haven't played the NASCAR Fantasy Live game before, is you go ahead, you have 5 drivers starting for you and 1 garage driver. You get a total of 10 uses on them. Yeah, so you got to be careful to not run out of uses on any of your best drivers here. I think it's worth hazarding a pick, though, on Larson. Definitely going to throw a Bubba Wallace in there. And obviously I can change these picks up until the race starts. Now, your garage guy, you can swap whoever's in your garage. That driver will not be scored for you, but they will also not use up a use. So let's say I'm kind of on the fence about using Byron or Larson. If one of them is doing really bad or already out the race before the end of stage 2, I can go ahead and throw them in there and avoid losing the use on them. Hoping to not have that be a problem here. Alright, let's see. Denny Hamlin, no. Especially not where I've already used him a lot. Kyle Busch, probably not. Reluctantly, I might use Ross Chastain here. I'm going to stick with Steve Bell. Oh, did not mean to click on Tiger's profile there. I was just trying to move over to the next driver. And honestly, going to go ahead and pick up Truex for my driver inside the top 10. And, oh, we are back to racing. So, we'll get back to my fantasy roster in a minute, but yeah, if you guys want to join in on that, link is in the description. We are working lap 131 here. Amarola away with the lead as Sheldon Creed, Sammy Smith, and Chandler Smith. So the 2 Smiths are battling it out for position here. 3rd and 4th. Let's see. Chandler Smith going to be able to clear Sammy Smith for 4th. Not actually brothers, but the same last name definitely could have fooled you. especially with how many family members there are in NASCAR. You've got Joe and John Hunter Nemechek. You got Dale and Dale. You got Mikey and Daryl. You got the Dillon brothers. You got the Siegs both in this race. And yeah, Creed made a push to try and pass Amarola there, but wasn't able to get there. Alright, let's see. Right now, Brandon Jones up to the 6th position here. He's going to try and take 5th away from his teammate here in Sammy Smith. But, yeah, here we go. And now Allgaier's freight training his teammate here. On the restart, you got Sammy Smith down 4 spots. SVG lost a ton of spots. Not sure what ended up happening to him. Oh, he just got shoved way wide. Okay. So it wasn't even necessarily his technique going wrong. It was just kind of the fact that he got pushed out the way. Alright, here we go. Yeah, Wood Brothers, that's another one. Yeah, say, depending on how far back you want to go, I mean, you can even look at the lineage of the Pettys. You got Lee Petty, Richard Petty, Kyle Petty, Adam Petty, and now Thad Moffitt from that family tree racing in the NASCAR Truck Series. As we got the number 29 car trying to slip through, I believe that is Blaine Perkins trying to sneak through there. Now you got the 38 of Alright, let's see. And I say more Gibbs on. Oh, whoa! Gibbs on Gibbs contact for sure there. But yeah, they ultimately managed to avoid wrecking each other, but they are now almost a full second behind Amarola. Gives Amarola a little bit of breathing room to avoid stressing. Which is good for Amarola and bad for that NASCAR field. And I'd say another pair of brothers. You have the Bush brothers. What's another? I mean, there's just so many you can probably go to. Alright, let's see. I'll go ahead and hide that one away. And here we go. And say Toyota top performers running 1, 2, 3, and then the next one isn't seen inside. Those are the only Toyotas inside the top 20. Alright, let's see. 143 laps in. We are working our way right towards that magic 100 number. 100 laps to go. Once we get to that, it is going to be a fun time. So again, it looks like the Toyotas are significantly faster than the other makes, but I don't think that's entirely true. I think luck has a lot to do with it too, and maybe remembering to turn your car on when you go to actually hit the throttle, Brandon. All right, here we go. Here we go. So again, right now Jesse Love is settled in the 11th position. All 4 Dash for Cash drivers are up in the top 20, but they got no Alright, let's see. Again, right now everybody's just kind of riding about a second and a half behind Amarola. Alright, Martinsville tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern for the Cup race over on FS1. Same channel as this race. If you guys are watching on traditional TV, if you guys aren't, well, thank you guys for choosing to watch me. Alright, here we go. Oh, wow, it's already past 9 o'clock, but we are still going strong here. Liberty Mutual, gotta love it when there's a yellow ad up on the screen. Makes it look like a caution flag flew, but nope, nothing but rabbits. But here we go. Not sure what I was saying about rabbits, but I guess I gotta hop to it. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Right now, though, again, that list of drivers out of the race is staying strong at 6. It looks like Ogata's out the race. I don't think we mentioned him earlier, but yeah, Ogata's out the race in addition to the other 5 drivers we mentioned earlier. Retzloff, Allmendinger, Heim, Hill, and Weatherman. So a lot of drivers out this race, but still some drivers making some good performances here. Alright, let's see. What do we got? We got the 27 and the 2. These two are having a really good battle, honestly. I don't know what position it's for, because it's not something inside the top 10, but I'm going to say whatever this battle is. Starting to think I should have had some popcorn for a battle like that one. And say your Dash for Cash drivers currently 1, 2, 14, 19 on the grid. Alright, 97 laps to go there. Just quickly counting down to the Alright, let's see. Again, right now Amaral is starting to lap traffic, so let's see. How quickly is he going to start lapping everybody? Alright, let's see. Last currently lap is 20.2, and Amarola's last lap was right near that, so Amarola's going to be lapping cars here any minute, if he isn't already caught in behind lap traffic. Oh yeah, Amarola's got a lap car right in front of him. It's the Ford Dawson Cram, but he will have a right now we got 90 laps to go here. Talking about best average finishes through the first 4 races. We got Kyle Busch, Chandler Smith, and Austin Hill. 2 of those are happening right now. Alright, here we go. We are just chilling here. And we are waiting for the 88 is not playing around. Okay, I say Carson Quaffle is still up inside the top 7. Haven't seen him particularly battling with anybody. But he's managing to hold off Alright, But yeah, Amarola is going to absolutely catch more lap traffic here. let's see. Again, right now you got Joey Gase getting lapped by the field. And again, Amarola just charging his way towards the next several lap cars here. But yeah, right now everybody's just working their way by the 53. Alright, let's see. 88 laps to go. Yeah, just kind of ticking away the laps here. As I say, once Amarola catches lap traffic, that'll make this thing pretty interesting. Alright, here we go. Let's see. $120 NASCAR short track starts for Eric Amarola, and no wins, and only led about 9/10 of a lap at the tracks. Alright, let's see. Again, right now, Amarola is just cruising his way through here. He passes Dawson Cram and Dustin Haley's. There we go. Alright, let's see again. Right now, 84 laps down. Or 84 to go, I mean. Just chugging our way through this one. 166 laps in. Alright, let's see. Again, right now we're just working our way through this one. Definitely wishing I had some more water here, but we do what we got. And we got ourselves 82 laps to go, and so the 7 continually trying to Alright, let's see. Yeah, we're just working our way through this one. And caution flag is out. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Not sure what the caution is for. Oh, we got debris. Debris on the racetrack. Yay. My favorite kind of cautions. Alright, let's see. Well, since they're under caution flag, I'm gonna go run and grab myself another drink, and I will be right back, guys. we are back, and we've got ourselves a drink, and just in time to see the race off pit road as they are releasing the 81. And it looks like it's going to be the 20 of, the 20 wins the race off pit road. Creed, second. Third, Custer. Fourth, Chandler Smith. Fifth, Allgaier. Sammy Smith, Herbst, both gaining 2 spots, along with Sam Mayer gaining 2. Brandon Jones loses 2, and Travis Quaffle loses 4 spots on pit road. Those Junior Motorsports pit crews, they definitely seem to be hit or miss. Again, Allgaier and a couple of them losing a total of about 5 spots, but the others gaining a couple of spots each. They go to a full screen commercial break, which means we get to go ahead and keep working on my roster. Alright, so after you go and make your actual roster decisions, which we already went and finished. Again, if you guys haven't played the NASCAR fantasy game before, or haven't played it in a while, you also have 4 head-to-head matchups. You just pick whoever you think's gonna finish better. So since I'm already taking a chance on Hamlin with the pick, having him in my roster, I'm gonna go ahead and take him over Hamlin. Gonna take Byron over Blaney here. Briscoe versus Gregston. I will take Briscoe. And Logano versus Kyle Busch out of purely nothing other than my own determination, I will go ahead and take Kyle Busch. And then you're going to go ahead and just copy and paste it over to the other leagues that I'm in. And there we go. That is my NASCAR fantasy roster set up. And we got ourselves it's ready. Again, top link in the description if you guys want to join in and play with us. Go right ahead. Alright, let's see. Still at a full screen commercial break. Let's see. Let's see, it's hitting 9:30 now. It's starting to get really late. Alright, let's see. Alright, here we go. They're doubled up and ready to go racing. Pace car, lights are off on the pace car, and we're ready to go. Kligerman and Amarola make up the front row. Second row is Creed and Custer. Third row, Chandler Smith and Justin Allgaier. Sammy Smith and Riley Herbst make up row 4. Row 5 is Mayer and Jones. Quaffle and Taylor Gray make up row number 6. And here we go. Pace car dives for cover. We are ready to go racing as they round the final corner, and it is green, green, green. Green flags out. We are back to racing. Alright, let's see. Kligerman again. He's making a strategy play here to try and get to the front. It's not the best strategy in the world, but he hasn't had much of a shot at the $100 grand all night. So, as a Dash for Cash driver, I don't mind seeing him throw the Hail Mary here. Again, not likely to work, but not impossible either. Here we go, 3 wide entering the corner. You got the 81, the 18, and the 00 there. And here we go. We got a little bit of what looked like smoke off the off of the 00 under braking. It very well could have just been tire smoke. Could be evidence of a rub, or it could just be that he was late on the brakes and needed to use extra braking force to slow the car down. So Josh Williams and Anthony Alfredo, those two were doing pretty well there before the end of the stages, but now that the stages are over, they're cycled back into the back half of the teens, and that is not an easy place to escape from. But yeah, right now though, it definitely looks like the 20 of Eric Almirola is just pulling away right now. Yeah, it looks like they're getting ready for commercial break. Alright, nope, they were just getting ready to filter it back over to a battle between the 18 and the 81. Alright, here we go. 18 was able to get through it. And right now, again, all these drivers at the front of the field, you got a lot of Toyota power. And say Taylor Gray is definitely not in position to be as good as his other 3 teammates there. Taylor Gray currently, in the 10th position. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and probably mute Discord, or at least mute notifications. For now, don't need all that binging. Bing, 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 bing. Alright, let's see. 65 laps to go. Again, right now these guys, the Toyotas in second and third, are basically just pacing around, waiting to see if a mistake would happen here. Let's see. Again, right now we got ourselves a pretty boring matchup again right now, just because the leader's taking off, and now you got a battle for second, which likely isn't going to matter because they're both in-house Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota teammates here. There's a battle that isn't a teammate. There's Taylor Gray making a move on, or Allgaier trying to make a move on Taylor Gray here for the top 10 spot. Also, I'm definitely starting to feel the headache a little bit. Oh, contact to the back bumper of the 19. The 39 trying to make an inside line work here. Alright, let's see. 60 laps to go. Come on, man. Just waiting for something to happen here. Alfredo working his way back up to the front here, up from 14th to 16th here, or whatever the drop-off has been for that number 5 car. Let's see, 58 laps to go, and right now, again, Almirola's just gotten a really big boost. let's see. Again, right now we're just kind of waiting to see what ends up happening. You got two Stuart Haas cars up in the top 5. Alright, here we go. Jesse Love last season to this season comparison. Average finish was way better. He had a couple of top 10s, but man, here we go. Alright, so yeah, I mean, right now, Amaral is just absolutely taking off with the lead, and they're just trying to find storylines anywhere. And oh, we got yellow, 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 yellow. Yellow flag flies. Who's it for? Competition caution. And it's Garrett Smithley around. Alright, let's see again. We're seeing a lot of caution flags and still waiting for the reason for why this one. Alright, let's see. Alright, let's see. Oh, we got 10 people hanging out in chat. And we have got ourselves a caution flag. We're just waiting to see who comes down pit road here. So they're gluing up the tires and getting them ready to put back on. And here we go. Sammayer, what will he do? And here we go. Coming down pit road, it's going to be the 48, the 29, and not much else. It's pretty lonely down there on the pit lane. Alright, here we go. So I do go to a commercial break. It's just a side-by-side, but I'm going to go ahead and use this chance to go use the bathroom. Should be last break before the end of the race. run to the checkers here. It should be 49. It's going to be 48 laps here. They're doubled up already, which means we should be seeing lights going off on the pace car here. No, lights are still on the pace truck. Or pace car. We will be going around at least one more time around. Thought we were going to be seeing those lights going off now. Granted, they could turn them off later on in the lap, but... So yeah, they must be sorting out some sort of scoring thing in the back right now. Probably related to where some of these guys came off of pit road, because there were the back half of the field kind of came to pit road there. Alright, so there we go. Got that all done and we are ready to go. And yep, there we go. Lights are off on the pace car, and we are doing the choose cone. So Amarola and Creed take the inside. Chandler Smith takes the outside. Cole Custer takes the outside. Sammy Smith and Sam Mayer will make up row 3. Row 4 will be Herbst and Allgaier. Quaffle and Love make up row number 5. Row 6 is Alfredo and Sieg. Jones and Burton make up row number 7. Row 8 is Taylor Gray and Jeremy Clements. Row 9 is Josh Williams and Brennan Poole. Shane Van Gisbergen and Myatt Snyder make up row number 10. And here we go. Pace car dives for cover, leaving the field in the hands of Eric Almirola and Chandler Smith. Let's see where they decide to make this restart. Here we go. Green, green, green. Green flag's out, and we are racing once again in Martinsville here. Alfredo popping out of line here. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Can the 81 manage to clear Almirola here on the from the top side? Or is Almirola going to prove too much on that inside line here? I say, if the 81 does fail to win this battle, it looks like he's going to have to fall all the way back to 3rd or something before he can find a hole. And I guarantee if Custer can control it, he does not want to have a... option B there to just tag onto the back half the back of their 3-car line, because that would make that front half of the field very hard to beat. Alright, so there we go. As this battle as they continue to go through this one. Chandler Smith on the outside, Eric Almirola able to clear, and Almirola can start working both lanes. So 42 laps now, and there we go. The 81 has dropped into 3rd place. He's going to hopefully try and hold off Cole Custer successfully. And yeah, as of right now, we are expecting a Eric Almirola runaway, potentially. I don't know who we got for kind of comeback kids and further on back, but curious to see if any of them pop up today. 41 laps to go here. You got Jeb Burton weaving his way through traffic. And yep, here we go. The 97 of Shane Gisbergen in background Burton there with the inside. But here we go. Let's see. What do we got left? 40 to go. 40 more times around. You got Poole versus Williams here battling it out for position. Alright, let's see. Let's see, right now Parker Clearman is looking to trying to make it a 3-wide move, which at Darlington is not possible. Alright, let's see again. 37 laps to go, and right now we're just kind of waiting because everybody's kind of falling into line here. Falling into a bit of lockstep here, and they're just going to continue to pace it out here. Try and make sure they have car left when they get to the end of the race. Might even want to make sure you have a little bit extra fuel in case it goes to overtime. There we go. Kligerman is up into the top 20 with his, even after his extra pit stop there. Alright, here we go. Here we go, 35 to go, and we're just creeping closer and closer to that checkered flag this entire way. And let's see, let's double check on lap traffic here. Alright, let's see again. It's pretty early on to be thinking lap traffic, and yeah. The lap traffic is about 21 seconds behind, and we will. Alright, let's see. 32 laps to go, and again, they're just working their way around, just counting down the laps, trying to avoid a caution here. Alright, let's see. 31 laps to go, and here we go. To the back bumper goes what looks like Sammayer. Not sure who that's he's pushing. Let's see. Based on who's in front of him, that would have been Cole Custer's rear bumper cam we were watching from, and we just got the shove. Alright, let's see. 30 laps to go. 30 more times around for these guys. Let's see. Again, we're just working our way through these laps. And let's see. 16 seconds behind is the tail end of the lead lap. Definitely still room to potentially catch the Alright, here we go. 28 laps to go. 28 more times around. And again, right now we're just kind of waiting for something to happen, but right now none of these drivers really have a big incentive to try and make a pass. Alright, let's see. Man. But yeah, right now Amarolla's got breathing room, and he is let's see. Again, right now we're 25 to go. 25 more times around. Let's say it's just so bright in here, and I've got a headache. Probably from too much screen time, honestly, but we ain't gonna let that stop us here, as Eric Almirola looks to try and increase upon his winning streak here. Alright, here we go. 23 laps to go here. And again, the Joe Gibbs cars battling it out for second here between Creed and Chandler Smith. The more they battle, the more they let the leader get away. Alright, 22 laps to go here. Now let's see, Sammayer up into the top 3. There we go. There's some movement. Finally got some kind of pass happening. Because Amarola took off for the lead, and there's been next to no shown passes happening. Let's see, again, 20 laps to go, and I'm just trying to avoid blinking and missing another caution here. But Eric Amarola, he's caught lap traffic. There we go. That was the big thing I was waiting for. Alright, here we go. Passing up on the 92 right now. Let's go ahead and see. Are these guys lead lap cars that we're coming up to pass? Yeah, I'm sure some of them are. Alright, here we go. Checking everything, 17 laps to go. Amarola has a 2.5 second lead right now. As long as that doesn't all just vaporize. And oh, speaking of vaporizing leads, yellow flag, yellow flag, yellow, yellow, yellow. And there we go. Ryan Seat goes around, and that is unfortunate for him. Alright, here we go. Let's see. 16 to go, and we are under a caution flag here, which means it's going to be a nice short shootout to the checkers when we do get going here. Hopefully it is just the one thing, and that is weird. We just lost a... Alright, let's see. So, it's 16 laps to go. Do you risk coming to pit road and knowing everybody else ain't coming behind you? Or do you stay out and risk everybody else deciding, yeah, we're going to get a pit? Again, bright lights. I'm going to dim the lights a little bit here. Shouldn't affect the outcome of the stream too much. Let me just double check the... at least I'm going to try dimming the ones that are right in front of me. Might even try dimming the overhead ones real quick. Just want to see what it ends up looking like. Just going to give it a try for the final couple of laps here. A little bit softer on the eyes, potentially. Because, yeah, I've been basically just staring into bright lights. And, honestly, I don't think it looks too much different. How do you guys say? For those of you guys that are still hanging out in chat, what do you guys think about the dimmed lights compared to what it looked like before anyone even remembers what it looked like? You guys can't tell the difference, and that's fine. And if it's significantly worse, just let me know. I can go and brighten the lights. Alright, so here we go. And is this a replay or is this live? We're not back to green flag racing. Okay, that was confusing because I see Martinsville live. I thought they were talking about that was live footage, and I was like, they did not get back to racing that quickly. But it looks like pretty much everybody's said it's going to be Amarola or Chandler Smith, and it looks like those are realistically the only two options as long as they don't take each other out. I mean, they could theoretically end up wiping each other out, and Love or Kligerman could end up stealing it. Amarola Smith on the front row. Mayer and Allgaier row 2. Row 3 is Creed and Custer. Row 4, Sammy Smith and Travis Quaffle. Or, sorry, not Travis Quaffle. Carson Quaffle. Alfredo and Herbst make up row number 5. Row 6 is Love and Jones. Row 7 is Shane Van Gisbergen and Jeb Burton. Taylor Gray and Ryan Ellis make up row number 8. Row 9 is Williams and Poole. And rounding out row number 10 is going to be Mayat Snyder, and I have no idea who else because they took the graphic off the screen as they were, and the pace car is off. It'll be 11 laps to go at the line this time. Green, green, green. Green flag's out, and they waited a really long way into the restart zone to decide to go there. Alright, here we go. 11 laps. Now it'll be 10 laps to go at the line, and here we go. Amarola loses out the side-by-side battle to Chandler Smith, and oh, we got tire smoke in the back either. That was the 27 or the 5 here. Both leaving a little bit of a trail of smoke there. Alright, here we go. 9 laps to go. 9 more times around. Amarola back to the lead. What happened to Chandler Smith? I blinked for 1 second and he's already back to 3rd and 4th now. And now it's Sam Mayer, the most likely threat to his lead. Alright, here we go. Replay. Oh, okay. Just an old school bump and run. Just bump him right out the way. Now it's going to be Sam Mayer. And Mayer, we know, will be willing to move Amarola out the way if need be. No qual to him. Alright, here we go. 7 laps to go. Mayer has gotten the lead off of a bump and run, and we got a yellow flag. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Yellow flag flies once again. And oh, it's a parking lot! It's a parking lot on the front stretch. The 51's involved. 27's involved. 28's involved. Cars are stopped almost everywhere. Kyle Sieg is involved. Burton's involved, and that is unfortunate. That Jeremy Clemens car has been through a war and a half, it looks like, tonight. Alright, let's see. And yeah, I just got no idea as to what actually happened to cause all that. Alright, here we go. Well, we got ourselves a caution flag period here and a chance to go ahead and stop and chat for a minute. So, I know we've talked a lot about NASCAR schedules. Anybody got anything else you guys want to talk about or hear me rant about? And there's Jeb Burton climbing out of the out of his car. I could rant more about the NASCAR track conundrum because they still have 2 races at almost every track, yet they end up letting decent tracks like Chicago go after Chicago really put everything they could into some good races on the schedule, and they were some of the better mile and a halves. Alright, here we go, here we go. Alright, let's just double checking everything right now. Alright, let's see. Open link in new tab. Let's see. Sub count. Oh, wow. We hit 570. 2,570 subscribers. Let's go. Alright, let's see. What do we got? Alright, we are chilling. We got 12 people hanging out in chat as we have got ourselves 4 laps to go here. And, yeah, let's go ahead. Once again, just going to try some other stuff out with the lights here. Mainly just trying to make it, again, easier on the eyes, because that's something I've noticed from last night and tonight. Honestly, yeah. When I say I could do without the extra bright light right in my face. 3 of the last 4 Xfinity Series races at Martinsville finished with the last lap pass. And they're going to overtime, so it'll be a 2-lap restart when they do go racing. Alright, here we go. This is a whole lot more comfortable without having to stare directly into a blindingly bright light. And actually, it has it even out. It's actually not too bad on the evening out either. Alright, and here we go. 2-lap shootout. If we can just get 1 lap in, that'll be the race will be official, even if we get a wreck after that point. But if we get another, as I say, we got unlimited overtime, which is good and a bad thing. Good thing because it means we get a definitive end of the race. Bad news is it costs pretty much everything else. Here we go. Amaral on the outside, Mayer on the inside. Creed and Chandler Smith both take the inside behind Mayer. Quaffle gets to restart in row number 2 here. Chandler Smith and Cole Custer making up row 3. Allgaier Herbst row 4. Row 5 is Sammy Smith and Jesse Love. SVG and Williams make up row 6. And that is going to be all we get to see for the rows before they flip it back, and we are ready to go racing. And so hit the like button if you guys are excited for the final couple laps here, and we are going to be getting ready for this one. Again, we'll be back tomorrow for the Cup race too, but here we go. Green, green, green. Green flag's out. We are back to racing. It's a 2-lap dash for the cash. Who can go ahead and get this one? Oh, it's 3 wide and we got... Oh, that's going to be... That's not going to wreck? How'd they not wreck that? Are they going to wait till right after the white to wreck? And here we go. Eric Almirola off the corner. White flag is out. The race is official. This is the final restart. Mayer. Chandler Smith can't get around Mayer, and it's going to be... Yep, yellow flag is out, and Riley Herbst is on fire in the corner. That'll be the race. Eric Almirola comes around to collect the checkered flag. The yellow and checkers are out. Sam Mayer 2nd. 3rd, Chandler Smith. 4th, Carson Quaffle. Great debut for Carson Quaffle there. Allgaier in the fifth position. Creed comes home sixth. Seventh, Cole Custer. Eighth, Sammy Smith. Jesse Love, the third best of the Dash for Cash guys, comes home ninth. Williams comes home in the 10th spot. And Parker Kligerman, after all the stuff he went through tonight, he comes home in the 11th spot as the worst Dash for Cash driver. So they're going to go ahead and show the replay here. And let's see, yeah, I mean, the 18 nearly wrecked them all by just driving in right on by the one car. And I thought for sure he was going to take himself and potentially like half the field out with that move. Yeah, they're just kind of showing the replay as we're going down the back straightaway. Yeah, 88 definitely did an amazing job. I will say it was definitely strategy helped make this a whole lot better. I would say he was a back half of the top 10 to top 15 driver tonight, which is no small feat for an Xfinity Series rookie, but I think it will be overinflated because he got lucky with the strategy working out to get him up into the top 5 for the end of the race. But hey, he was able to hold off on the restarts too, so credit to him where credit is due here. Amarola burns it down, and we're going to go ahead and go through and list off where every driver finished. So if you guys just stayed for the reaction to the race, we'll see you guys next week. Or not next week. We will see you guys tomorrow for the Cup Series broadcast. But again, we'll go through the full leaderboard here. So Amarola, we talked about him. Winner. He'll be in Dash for Cash next week. Sammayer second. He will be in the Dash for Cash next week. So, Sam Mayer going and trying to go for some cash at Texas. Chandler Smith comes home third. He will also be in the Dash for Cash at Texas. I do not know if Carson Quaffle will be eligible for Dash for Cash. He may be, he may not be. I don't know on that one. If he isn't eligible, it would be Justin Allgaier would be the fourth driver in. Yeah, as he finished in the fifth position. Sheldon Creed comes home sixth. Seventh was Cole Custer. Eighth, Sammy Smith. Ninth, Jesse Love. Again, third best of the Dash for Cash drivers, and he will not be a part of the Dash for Cash program next week. Josh Williams comes home with a solid top 10. I believe that might be his first top 10 of the season with the way this season's gone. Parker Kligerman as well. Valiant effort, part of the Dash for Cash program this week. The fourth best driver, but an 11th place finish. Nothing to scoff at, especially considering the way he started this race. But he will not be a part of it next week. Then you got Shane Van Gisbergen coming home 12th. Not bad for a rookie in one of his first Martinsville starts ever. Then you got Taylor Gray coming home 13th. 14th was Anthony Alfredo after a very good run for him, even getting some stage points in there. Blaine Perkins comes home 15th in the 29 car. Brendan Poole actually coming home in the 44 car, coming home 16th. 17th for Ryan Sieg. 18th, Haley Deegan. 19th was Maya Snyder. Not too bad there. And Dexter Bean rounds out your top 20 finishers here tonight. Matt D. Benedetto in the number 38 car comes home 21st. 22nd for Jeremy Clements. 23rd, Kyle Sieg. 24th, Dawson Cram. Riley Herbst comes home 25th. 26th was Ryan Ellis. 27th is Brandon Jones, and that is your last lead lap car. Joey Gase, the first car, 1 lap down. Still throwing bumpers to this day. Garrett Smithley 2 laps down in 29th. And Logan Bearden rounds out your top 30 drivers, and he was 4 laps off the pace here tonight. Then you got Leland Honeyman Jr. coming home 7 laps off the pace after being involved in that big wreck that ended up taking out 5 drivers. Jeb Burton, also involved in a major crash, comes home 9 laps off the pace in 32nd position. Kyle Weatherman coming home 33rd. He was one of the drivers knocked out in that major crash earlier in the race, 176 laps shy of the checkers. Austin Hill comes home 180 laps shy of the checkers in the 34th position. Corey Heim, 181 laps behind the pace in 35th. AJ Allmendinger also 181 laps behind the pace. Comes home 36th after a very good start to the race. Ultimately, we'll have to wait and see how he picks it up throughout the remainder of this season. And honestly, this month is going to be a big one for Allmendinger. You've got the super speedways, which should be colleague strength, but it'll all come down to that, to what they end up doing there. Parker Retzlaff also 181 laps off the pace as he comes home in the 37th position, and Aikenori Ogata comes home 210 laps off the pace in dead last position in the 38th spot. So there we go. That is the full finishing order from the NASCAR Xfinity Series race in the Dude Wipes 250, or as it should be called, the 251, since we did end up going that far. Total of 15 lead changes between 8 different leaders and 11 cautions there at the very end. They're talking with sammayer, obviously disappointed about the shot that he had, and then just the fact that he wasn't able to get it done, but he'll have a chance to go over $100,000 next week, as he will be part of that dash for cash. LTX, I want to see him back and win. I mean, again, I think Carson Quaffel's finish, while I think he did very admirably. Okay, so Carson Quaffel will not be part of the dash for cash next week. So it'll be Mayer, Chandler Smith, Justin Allgaier, and Sheldon Creed. How'd they choose those drivers? Oh, I guess Amarola might not be in the race next week. That might be why Amarola is getting passed up on it. So Sam Mayer, Chandler Smith, Allgaier, and Creed will be a part of the dash for cash. No Amarola next week. So, but yeah, I think ultimately, I think Carson Quaffel, again, his finish, I think is going to inflate the expectations, even though, again, realistically, back half the top 10 to a top 15 run in your first Xfinity Series race is absolutely nothing to scoff at, but I worry that the expectations are going to get set too high, similar to other drivers, not naming any names in particular, Haley Dean, or Harrison Burton. But yeah. But that's pretty much everything here from the Martinsville Speedway. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we will see you guys tomorrow around 3 o'clock for the NASCAR Cup Series Martinsville 500. So, until next time, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next video, live stream, whatever you guys decide to do with the rest of your night. Have a great night, everybody, and goodbye!